Welcome to Comic Book Club. I'm Alex.
I'm just.
I am Pete.
And we've got some of your audience questions
Yeah.
today. Stuff you guys have written into the Comic Book Club at yahoo.com. So we're going to get right into it. John asks,
Hey, John.
I'm a supply teacher, and I've been noticing comic books and graphic novels turning up in many a school library. These books are being used as tools to discuss issues and expose kids to literature that would otherwise be too dry. Students can read about past military conflicts, world issues, even Shakespeare's plays in easily digestible graphic form. So what do you think? Good thing or bad thing? Can comics help to expose apathetic students to material that would otherwise avoid? And if so, is that form conducive to actual learning? Can you achieve the same depth experience provided by actual literature?
In quotes, actual.
Actual, yes. That's a really good question,
Yeah,
John.
it really is.
I'll start it off by saying I actually grew up reading my father's Classics Illustrated, which I loved. That certainly didn't stop me from also then going and reading the books at the same time. So they inspired me both ways. You know, if I had read White Fang, I think I remember reading Classics Illustrated of that. I read it in class, I read it on my own, and I also read the comic book. So
I would have to chime in there and I say it depends on the kid.
Chime in.
And I feel like if I read the comic, I definitely wouldn't have then gone ahead.
You were like,
I would be like, got this, next thing.
I get it. It's a wolf. It's a
Yeah,
wolf.
I get it. But no, I feel that really it depends on the kid. I certainly hope that it helps open people up to, hey, I really like comics or I really like graphic novels. Maybe there is something to this literature, or maybe I can explore more. But you know, you never know. I think there's definitely, it's a great question, and I hope it helps. But
a couple of shows ago, we talked about Wizard of Oz, the new Eric Shannara Scott Young thing.
Yeah.
I think the thing that works really nicely about that is definitely not a substitute for the book. It's an artistic thing in its own
It's a different
right.
piece.
And it's certainly for, I would say, for younger audiences for the most part. Kids who aren't necessarily able to comprehend or understand the whole book, but maybe into picture books.
If, like Alex, comic books open people up to reading the actual works that the different books are based on, then it is a good thing, I think. You get a kid who may not be into reading and thinking creatively. But I think years from now, in like 10 or 15 years, this question won't even have a bearing because I feel like graphic novels themselves will be in schools as original works. So it won't be an issue of like, oh, can we use comics as a gateway to get people into reading? I think comics will be something where people are like, oh, this is a medium. This is where people are
If
reading.
it's an original, different story in a graphic novel format, then what does it matter? In a certain sense, because
Definitely.
that's how a story is told. Like, you wouldn't... Watchmen, if that's in a school library, that's meant to be a comic book.
Right.
You're not going to say, oh man, that's taking away reading, because that's how it's meant to be done.
And reading comic books is reading.
it does count.
That's pretty
That
much
is-
all the reading I do at this point.
I know, I can't get into Us Weekly anymore.
It's too much, too many words.
It's too many words.
It's just like, what are they, where, and then I tune out.
I just feel bad because I have all these old Wall Street journals stacked up, and I'm like, I don't have time for you right now.
Yeah, next to your gasoline canisters.
Boom!
Jackass. I'm a huge fan of Blue Beetle, Cloak and Dagger.
Jackass?
And
You said Shaq?
Jack. Wow, I actually said Jackass, not Shackass. I'm
That's
a
too
huge
bad.
fan
Shackass
of Blue Beetle,
bro.
Cloak and Dagger, and various other characters that haven't been able to hold their own books as well as others. And I was wondering if you think that their lack of longevity is more attributed to the writers, the characters, the pig-headedness of the company execs, or some other mysterious force that can't be explained. I'm going to say it's the mysterious force that can't be
Nice.
explained, and let's move on to the next question.
And that force is gravity.
I'd like to say hello to Jackass, but I feel that I would feel that it's the writers. I was really in love with where Blue Beetle was, and then I felt like it lost some steam when it changed. Like, the writer did so much work to get it to where it was and like really get it recognized, but I feel
Here's the thing, though. It was recognized, but it didn't sell. The real issue is it's very hard for a new character to gain enough traction to become popular. Blue Beetle, as I think I said and we all said, could have been DC's new Spider-Man. It was a young character was very well written, really interesting, dealing with issues that everyone deals with. But it's just not enough people read it because it's not an icon. And I think same with Cloak and Dagger. These are B-level characters that there's a cult following that are, and it's a lot of times they're well written.
Where was the advertising for Blue Beetle?
Yeah.
If they really wanted to give it a push, put an ad for 1 month in every single comic book, pushing Blue Beetle, put some ads around with all the pull quotes and everybody. Actually make it work.
Though I will say, I think DC dropped the ball with Blue Beetle because Blue Beetle's going to be in the Brave and the Bold series, so it may have a young following. To cancel the book right when that series is kind of hitting its ground really big.
There's no bad characters. There's only bad ways of writing them or good ways of writing them. However, I would say there are some characters that are just supporting characters. So however much they might be fan favorites, they just don't work.
Like the Punisher or Spawn.
Yeah, agreed. Or Wolverine.
Oh, that's how you get
Wow.
Mike Wimmer asks, "Hey guys, love the show. I'm
Hey,
Mike
Mike.
from Minnesota, and I am writing to ask you. The news Marvel appears to be raising prices on monthly 32-page books, such as Punisher Max, Hulk, and the upcoming Dark Avengers. What do you think this means for the industry, retailers, and fans in a time when America and the world's economy is in the dumps? Do you think we will see a shift in fans' buying habits with smaller, lesser-known characters in books from Marvel, DC, Image, Dark Horse, etc., losing readers while people keep reading the main titles? Do you think we will see more fans pirating comics online? Do you think this might finally force companies to start offering an iTunes-type system for comics?"
Wow.
This is a lot of stuff to deal with.
Yeah,
First of all,
Mike,
for those who don't know, Marvel has come out publicly and say, no, we're not doing $3.99 across the board. It's just for our popular books.
Just for the comics we want to make more money on.
Right, exactly.
Well, and
For
you
the
should
ones
also
we
know,
think you have to buy.
according to one of Pete's Wall Street Journals, the economy has apparently been having some hard times.
Yeah.
So less money in people's pockets.
Same thing according to my hobo picture books.
Yeah, which there are more hobos
Yes.
in the picture.
I don't know exactly what's going to happen. The weird thing that's happening right now, and this partially has to do with the price increase, comics are actually doing better now than they have been over the past couple of years. It's a relative thing because they're doing nowhere near what they were doing in the 90s, but I don't think them making more money than they have in the past 5 years is going to teach anybody a lesson.
Yeah, true. And I mean, prices are going to go up. It's just natural, especially on the books that are selling well. They're going to be like, oh, people are into this. They're going to buy it. Let's raise the price. And that's just the nature of the business.
They also figured it out, and unfortunately, most fans are going to stay with $3.99 price increase regardless. For the ones who drop it, that's going to even out from the ones that keep ordering it with $1 more on the cover.
Yeah.
So they're actually not going to lose any money. So there's no incentive for them, technically speaking, to not do it.
Yeah.
That's from the publishing company's perspective. From the fans' perspective, this sucks.
Yeah.
This totally sucks because you should not be paying $4 for something that is full of ads and no story.
Like, for instance, the recent Warren Ellis series, 2-issue series, Ghost Boxes. It was one of the first to be $3.99 of Marvel's
First
books,
to suck.
and it had much less story than a normal book. So,
Yeah.
I think what it's going to force people to do is just be choosy about their comic books.
which is good.
If I may, Mike, if you want to riot and protest, I'm with you. All right, let's get
Two-man
this
riot.
thing. Let's get this thing
Two-man
forward.
riot.
Let's get on the internet, spread the word. We're all going to protest and burn this mother down. All right, so let's.
Burn down
This sort of
smother.
thing is like if they increased the price of a slice of pizza from like a quarter to 50 cents. That would drive me nuts.
Yo, where are you getting quarter slices?
What do you mean?
Quarter slices of pizza?
Yeah.
Where?
Generally speaking, they cost a quarter.
Where? What
And
time machine are you
movies
calling?
are $2.
Oh, you guys should know.
Popcorn is $1.
We found this old footage of a man from the 30s, Alex, and we've been editing ourselves, Pete and I, into it. And that's why he believes other weird things. He speaks
But-
British
Alright,
accents.
alright.
But to
you
get
go
back
to
to-
Kaiser, don't you?
Oh,
But
here
to
we
get
go.
back to Mike real quick, I just feel that I have been trying to spend less money on comics, and it's really hard because I love tons of comics. So
Stop
it
buying bags
does,
and boards.
No,
Stop
but
buying bags and
shut
boards.
up. It does make a
Stop
difference.
buying variant editions of Wolverine one-shots.
Stop buying Wolverine Munch.
It does make a difference for me with the $3.99. I don't
Agreed.
tend to buy it.
You guys should definitely talk back about this. Send us a telegraph, or if you have one of those telephone things,
Yeah,
definitely
please.
call us on that.
They
I
drive
guess
me
Listen
crazy.
to the Fireside Chats.
comment below me if you could sit down.
Yeah,
that would be
sit down
nice.
and just
You
say
can
words.
subscribe to our club. That would be nice as well. And if you're ever in New York, we have a live meeting.
Yeah, 8 o'clock on Tuesdays at the People's Improv Theater. It's awesome.
We'll see you at the Charleston Club. Watch out for World
God
War
bless
II.
the FDR and God bless the WPA.
Watch out for World War II.
It's coming to get
Buy
you.
stock in Apple.